Here's the Great Pyramid. The Isis temple's right over here. And this is the second pyramid right here. This is Khufu and Khafre. The third one is over here, Menkaure, the littler pyramid. Here's the causeway from the second pyramid, and here's the Sphinx. There's the dream stela of the Sphinx right between its paws. And this is the Sphinx temple right behind us. The Great Pyramid is got a lot of secrets going on in it, and many of them are making it to television, but they're still mysterious to us. There has not been a breakthrough yet on much of the stuff that you've seen. The basic specs of this massive wonder of the world, it's the only remaining wonder of the seven wonders of the world. It's the only one that remains. It's been estimated by archaeologists to have 2,300,000 stones perfectly put together. And we only have 2 cranes in the world today that could lift these stones and put them in position. So it's a little bit of a miracle that they built it. It sits on 13.6 acres, 481 feet high. Each side of this pyramid, a whole side, covers 5 acres. And the base is curiously arranged to about the number of days in a year, which adds another little mystery how they could do that. Another amazing thing that actually is in the Edgar Cayce readings, but is also known in the lore, is that when you lay out the land mass on this planet, the pyramid sits right in the center of it. So it was laid out and positioned in the center of the land mass of the planet. Still, that's a mystery. It's just an impressive factor. When you look at the Nile Delta, it's positioned at the base of the exact base of the fan of the delta. So someone really knew what they were doing, and bigger than just the local area. They knew the world, they knew the cosmos. Edgar said that it was laid out according to the stars above, so they were well aware of it. This is our group coming out of the entrance that we use today. You see the little guard right there. This is the Thieves Entrance. They broke into it around 700 AD. Up here is the original entrance, and this is one of the keys to a mystery. The Egyptian Book of the Dead was reviewed by a guy named Marsham Adams in England in the 1700s, late 1700s. And he noticed that the Egyptian Book of the Dead had several chapters that talked about a thing called the light. And when he saw the glyph, this is the glyph for the horizon, also known as the light, where the light comes over the horizon. And so he thought maybe the Great Pyramid is the light in the chapters in the Egyptian Book of the Dead, and sure enough, it was. And it's a massive complex. When you see the archaeologists tell you how it originally looked, it had a wall all the way around it. It was smooth with white limestone and a gold capstone, and when the sun rose in the morning, it would reflect off of it, and as the sun moved through the sky, the light would spin around reflecting off of it. And on a full moon night, it would do the same thing. They believed during the daytime, the capstone actually could have been seen from the moon because of the light reflecting. It was a goldish capstone, though Edgar says it was made out of a metallic alloy that had a gold finish like. So it is a massive complex. Here is the entrance. And this is the Thieves Entrance. The original entrance is above us. But this is what it looks like when we go in. And now here's where some of the mysteries that I can update you on. We have just come up the narrow passageway, and this is the Grand Gallery. It goes way up to the King's Chamber. It's magnificent to be in there. This is the passageway to the Queen's Chamber. And you do have to squat down and do like this. And in the Cayce readings, he said every time the initiates had to bend over, squat down, it was to create humility and meekness in them. And so you were going through your initiation in here, and many souls here probably did do this. In ancient Egypt, they initiated numerous souls, I mean thousands, through generations. But here's what was found. When you go down here about where that light is, on your right side, the French found that the wall over here was not solid, that there was an opening behind it. So they asked permission to drill. They drilled and sand started coming out. So they capped it real quick because they were scared to death that it might have something to do with the ballast of the 2,300,000 stones. And they were scared if you drained it, the whole thing might come down. Then they sent the sand back to Paris, and Paris said, hey, I hate to tell you this, but that sand is not indigenous to Giza. It's not found in Egypt. So it came from somewhere else. Of course, the UFO people all say Mars, because there's a pyramid on Mars. And others speculate it came from Atlantis, and the Atlanteans brought some of their native sand and put it there. There was a big rumor for a while that Paris had also said it was radioactive. Now, they quelled that rumor, but we noticed every man who was working on this had to go get cleansed. So we thought, now, wait a minute, if it's not radioactive, why did they have to have a special cleaning process? So no one knows for sure now whether it was radioactive or not. The Japanese came the very next year, and they scoped all this out. And they said, that sand chamber over here behind this wall actually has an empty chamber below it and another chamber on the other side of it. So they thought the sand was a way to keep people from getting through to a secret chamber on the other side, and that the empty chamber below was where the sand would drain when someone knew what to do and was allowed to go in there and get the secrets in the other chamber. Of course, Zahi Hawass, the director of the Giza Plateau, was in no way going to risk destroying the Great Pyramid to find out if this is true. So there's still a lot of research going, and I want to show you what led to some new speculation. Now, over here on the left, we have come out of the passageway. We're in the Queen's chamber. And this is the little air shaft that the little robot went up and saw the door. Remember those things with the little copper handles and all? Okay. This was actually opened in 1872, and some artifacts were found in it, one of which was cedar, piece of cedar. Well, you can do carbon dating of that. So they sent the artifacts up to the British Museum. Here they are, a sketch of what was found in there. A granite ball. This little device, no one knows for sure what it was used for. And here's the cedar fragment. They think it was a measuring stick. And they put them in a cigar box and shipped them back to the British Museum to examine them and all. The British Museum lost them. And just recently, they were moving a whole bunch of stuff in the British Museum. They found the cigar box again, and they found them. So there's the hope now that they will carbon date this because it was behind a seal. So that means the people who sealed it in there, that would date when they sealed it in there. So there's some hope that that will be done. We don't know if it will be.